On this video, I'm going to share with you how my good buddy Joey and his company did over $60,000 last month. So if you're interested in that, stick around all the way to the end. Hey, what's up guys? Nick Rapkless here. Welcome back to the channel. Really excited to have you here. And this is going to be a little bit different format. Most of the time I'm making my videos by myself, but today brought my good buddy Joey in, and he's going to be sharing with you some golden nuggets. We're going to talk about his story, how he went from where he started, and now his company with his partners is making $60,000 a month, and they're taking it up to $100,000 and far beyond that. So this is going to be kind of fun. I'm going to introduce him here in just a second, but really excited to have you on because we're always trying to mix up the content and make it exciting and fun for you guys and give you a little bit more insight to my friends, myself, my personality a little bit more, and just help you guys in a little different format. So without further ado, this is my good buddy Joey. And yeah, like I said, him and his partners just did 60K. So why don't you share with us a little bit about your company, what you're all about, and then we'll start getting into your story and a few other things.
Let's do it, dude. Yeah. Well, number one, happy to be here, dude. Appreciate you having me on, chatting biz. Yeah, so pretty much right now we're running a company called Conversions, and our main goal is essentially to take coaches, course creators, client business owners, and help them get to that 20K mark organically, right? So pretty much from there, we help them craft their offer, identify their ideal audience that they're trying to target, create a rock solid marketing plan for their organic strategy, and really dial in their sales process so that they can convert high ticket clients. And that's pretty much the program we have now. And we're getting incredible client results, right? Which is just fueling the momentum, and we're crushing it right now. So I'm looking forward to seeing, the freaking crazy marks each month that we hit.
Cool. That's amazing. I've watched you guys for a little bit now, probably like six. Have we known each other for like 6 months?
Yeah, 6.
Back in February, I believe.
Yep.
Was when we got introduced, yeah. And then they live just right across the way. We always say hi in the mornings across the pool. But what I really heard in there is a couple things, is that you help coaches, course creators get to $20,000 a month without paid advertising.
Correct.
Which is interesting because most of what I teach on this YouTube channel is all about YouTube advertising. I'm a strong proponent of that. That works really well for us, but there's different ways on how to do that. You don't always have to use paid ads. So that's really cool. And then the other thing that I really heard from you is that you have a lot of clients winning, and that seemed like that was something that really juiced you up a little bit. I could see it in your eyes that you get really excited about your clients winning. So why don't you share share one of your clients that kind of sticks out. You don't have to share names or anything, but maybe talk about a specific example of where they started and where they are now, what kind of offer do they have, so on and so forth.
Yeah, sounds good. So I guess I'll start with like the beginner. We have one of our clients, his name's Evan, and he pretty much had no experience. He's just like one of those, he's like us, you know what I mean? He's like one of us, where he's just driven, like action taker. He popped in, he was trying to start some sort of mindset coaching business. And he was dabbling with like low ticket memberships, group coaching. He just didn't really have direction. And then we kind of plugged him in, and he was one of those dudes who takes, like, dream client, just takes action, that kind of stuff. So we helped him craft his offer, which he ended up starting out. He started a beta program for $1,000. We believe in high ticket prices, high ticket offers only. So he launched that, and no experience whatsoever. No sales experience, no real coaching experience other than his own transformation himself that he's had. And he did probably about 20K in about, I'd say 8 weeks or so with us. And now he's just like, all right, let's grow, let's go. So he was like somebody that came from just total nothing, scratch, and we just helped him mold that offer, go out to the market, get feedback, validate the offer, and then scale from there. So that's one of our guys. And we have a lot of other people in very different stages in their business. Which you touched on earlier, we have another client who's came in, hit her goal of getting 3 to 5 clients in her first month, sobriety coach, and just crushing. But she was somebody who initially was burned by paid ads. And what you were saying earlier is we run paid ads. Like, I love paid advertising. So does our whole team. Like, we've been running ads for so long. But in the coaching space, what we found is that so many people jump the gun for paid ads. So I love paid ads. I don't stand against paid ads at all. But there's definitely in this industry a space and a time for paid ads, right? Before you validate your offer, you have people that are buying over and over again, and you know that there's demand for it. It's a quick path to get burnt with no validation, like no clarity, right, on your marketing message, you're really clear on your ideal client, like all of these things we believe have to be in place to then, once you hit 20K, migrate to paid ads. So that's a little bit about that as well.
I like that because I'm on the same wavelength for that, because with the agency that I'm working with, we don't just take on anybody, because with fact, it's not even an ego thing or anything like that, but we know that there are certain offers that work with paid ads and some that don't. And one of the biggest things that we've talked about on this channel is a proven offer, something that has already proven to convert and actually generate sales. And if you don't have that, not to say it can't work, but it's an uphill battle. If you're brand new offer, you're just starting out, you dump $5,000 in ads, that really could just be testing, figuring out which landing page is working, figure out which ads working, and it can be an uphill battle if you're just starting out, and a daunting task of $15,000 just for testing is no small feat. So I like that. I like how you say, like, hey, get some proof of concept, make sure it's working first, and then start throwing some fuel on the fire. So that's all great information. I'd like to, again, as I mentioned earlier in this, I want to just, a big thing for me in my content now I want to push forward is really give an insight to more of what goes on behind the surface. And I know we've had some really good conversations, but you have a pretty crazy story. So why don't you you don't have to go in the details because we could be here for a couple hours, but why don't you give us some cliff notes, some things that stand out on like kind of where you're from and where you are now, and some things in between that were fun, and just kind of help people give some people to hook onto the fact that you're doing $60K a month, but it wasn't always like this, right?
No, it was not, certainly. Yeah, man, for sure. So pretty much to take it back, like I've always been someone growing up that's like very focused on achieving goals. It was sports for me, like you as well, right? Just crushed. Like I loved achieving something, like a common mission with a team, right? So I did that for a while, and I thought for me it was like sports. It's like sports is my thing. Like I'm just good at sports. I'm an athlete. And then that's when I started really shifting that perspective, when I started learning about business and I started getting involved in different circles and understanding that it wasn't really necessarily that I was good at sports. It was more so the mindset that I had when I was applying myself to the sports. Obviously a bit of talent there, of course, but I saw a transition to business as well. So pretty much for me, I started reading books 18, 19, like just stocks, real estate, like just getting my mind like opened to like what's possible. So I did that for a bit, and then I pretty much 17 years old, my dad was like, take police officer test, take exams, take this. He was in law enforcement. And he's like, I don't really care if you do it. I just want you to have an opportunity to say no down the road, right? Because you don't know what you want to do yet. Like if you say no, it's not going to affect me, but just have the opportunity there. So nonetheless, 17 years old, took the test, scored really high, got called when I was 20 to become a police officer in my own county that I lived in, which happened to be one of the highest paid departments in the country. Incredible, beautiful work schedule. You're making like 100, 120, 130, 140K a year. And pretty much everybody told me like, you hit the lotto, dude. Like you just hit the lottery. And I was juiced up, I was fired up, and I stepped into policing. And I absolutely loved it, dude. You know what I mean? I loved it. The camaraderie, the craziness, the adrenaline, all of it was incredible. But I still had that itch, you know what I mean? That itch of like, I'm gonna start a side business. So I started dabbling t-shirt business for a little bit. That was just kind of hysterical. And then I got involved with another business where it was affiliate marketing, hybrid with network marketing. And that was like my first true business where I actually went all in. I did really well with it. I was making 10, 15K a month, like after about 6 months or so. I was crushing. But it just like, looking back, it didn't really align with me totally. But it did serve a massive purpose, because that's how I met all my business partners now. And we essentially, the way I see it is like, we all had this vision that was outside of what we were doing, and then we all just like aligned and then created the company that we're doing now. So all of it was stepping stones to where I'm at. A lot of mindset work, dude, went into all of it. Like, I can't even tell you the amount of times I've obsessively listened to audios, like dozens of times, the same one, just like reprogramming my brain, literally. And all of that work behind the scenes led me to where I'm at now, right? So yeah, 60K in a month, right? We launched this company specifically 6 or 7 months ago, right? So it's been pretty decent growth. But that's also, years of mindset work. Years of pursuing and creating and building and optimizing my mind. So that's like behind the scenes, leading up to where we're at.
Yeah, I had a feeling we might jump into this topic of discussion because, everyone wants to hear that, 60K a month, I do this, run this traffic, this offer. And of course, don't get me wrong, that stuff is vitally important. But what a lot of people just do not realize is the fact that there's so much behind the scenes. And I talk a lot about this. I'm a junkie when it comes to, feeding my mind with good stuff. And we listen to a lot of the same things. I'm just, it's just immersing yourself and really just, like you said, programming your mind. Because if you're not programming your mind, someone else is programming it, and they don't have the best intentions.
100%, dude.
So,
Absolutely.
that's incredible. And that's what I just want to really impart in everybody watching is that there's, we can tell you all the stuff that we're doing and ads and offers and stuff like that. But until you, honestly, I think it's a healthy obsession. Unless you're healthy obsessed with developing your mind, I don't think you have a chance.
Nope.
That's my opinion anyways. And then you talked about vision. Let's dive a little bit deeper into that. Do you feel like you're really fulfilling your vision? Maybe you can share with us a little bit more about your vision and why you guys are so aligned with your partners. Give us a little bit more insight on that.
Yeah, man. As far as vision, right, I think it's something that continues to evolve, but you need that North Star. You know what I mean? That thing that you're working towards that's beyond like the day-to-day, like the numbers, the metrics. You need something pulling you forward. So for me, like overall, and we all had the same mindset, me and my business partners, and the same vision. But for me, with this specific business, right, I love talking about money and helping people with money, right? So essentially my personal vision is number one, which I'm in phase one of, which is helping people make 6 or 7 figures in a business that fulfills them, that they love, that they're impacting other people, which is why I love coaching, because if we could help a client win, that means they're helping their clients win, and it's a ripple effect in all different areas of life, relationships, finance, health, everything. So the phase one for me is essentially helping people get to financial freedom in some sense, or creating this thriving business where they're making 6, 7 figures a year doing what they love. That's phase one, right? But the other thing and the other problem in the entrepreneurial space is a lot of people know how to make money, but they have no idea how to keep it. So like part two of my vision is to help people build legacies and like create like long-term wealth. You know what I mean? Not only keep the money, but multiply it and invest it in different assets that can actually be sustainable for their families, like you mean long-term. It's a lot easier to make money than it is keep it and grow it. So that's like phase two, is really to help people build their legacy with the business that they've created. Yeah. I
like that. It's good to have, because my opinion is your vision's always going to be evolving. It's not just, hey, I want to do this, I want to help people think better, or whatever your vision is. It's going to be evolving. What your vision is today is probably going to be different in a month, in a year, and a decade for certain. I would like to get your opinion and maybe help some of the viewers here. Let's say you don't have that vision, because I know I've been in places like right now I feel like I'm very driven and know exactly where I'm going, but it hasn't always been this way. And I think that's probably one of the bigger issues is people understand, like, okay, yes, I need a vision. How do I get one?
That's a good question. That's a good one there. So I think for me, at least, speaking from my personal experience, I think it does start with awareness of what's possible. And I think that starts with exposing yourself to new information that you previously didn't know. Because everybody's operating in essentially their own box, you know what I mean? And everybody has their own radar screen, right? Of what is possible and what they can see. But there's, just incredible information that's outside of that screen, that radar screen, that you are not consuming, right? And for me, when I started reading those books, when I started being around successful people, well, that's a little bit down the road, but like when I started reading the books, right now the radar screen is getting bigger, right? And now the way I'm thinking is growing, right? And you continuously do that over time, and like you said, it's evolving, right? So, right, myself right now, right, earning 60K a month with my current mindset has that vision. But when I'm doing 250K a month and I'm helping way more people, I'm gonna have a bigger vision, because I'm gonna be surrounded by more successful people and more information that's expanding that radar screen. So it starts like taking the first step, and that's educating yourself on what's possible. And it comes down to like learning new information to start, I think, that really expands what you believe is possible for yourself. That was the biggest thing for me. I remember reading my first book, which I don't even really follow the principles anymore, but that wasn't the purpose it served. It was called Millionaire Teacher. And I remember I read it when I was 18 years old. And in my mind, I'm like, there has to be a better way. But I read this book, Millionaire Teacher, and it was this guy who was like 40 years old. He was a teacher on a teacher's salary, and he built a multi-million-dollar stock portfolio, right? And he taught about like the investing principles that he used. And that was the first book I read, and it sticks to me to this day, because not because I'm following those principles, but because that triggered something in my mind that was like, wow, a regular dude doing something special, right? And that like popped my bubble. It was like, holy shit, there's a lot more for me out here. And that started the spiral of like information. Let me read Rich Dad, Poor Dad, all this other stuff. So yeah. I think it starts with that.
I love that answer, and I'm glad that kind of circles back around to what we were talking about, just getting immersed in new information, educating yourself. I'm a big proponent of that. I think it all starts with educating yourself. People don't know what they don't know. Mm-hmm. And until you really start investing in yourself, educating yourself, you'll never really know. So it circles all back around to our beginning of our conversation. Get totally immersed in educating yourself and making yourself better, and that's going to help you think bigger and ultimately get a vision, which is the most important part. So I think we're going to wrap this up. I'm not sure exactly where we're at, and again, we're kind of just riffing, figuring out along the way. But I was thinking about this. A friend posed this question, and maybe this is going to be something I'm going to end all my interviews with. But this is the question. If in one word, what is success to you?
One word. Whew. One word, what is success? I would say
Putting you on the spot.
That's a good one, dude. I know the typical answer is probably happiness, and fulfillment and stuff like that. So I don't want to go down that route.
Okay.
But I want to say what I believe can be a word to sum it up in my mind. There's obviously a definite like a elaboration behind it. Is creation.
Creation.
Yeah.
Okay. And what does creation mean to you in one sentence?
So what I would say creation means, I think as humans, we're designed to create and build and work towards something, right? And create and be working towards a purpose, working towards something, right? And through that process of creation towards a worthwhile dream, worthwhile goal of yours, I find happiness and fulfillment in that process, right? There's obviously a mindset around that too, but I think as humans, we're designed to build, to grow, to evolve, to create things in our life. So I think that is a good representation of kind of how my mind works, where yes, fulfillment, yes, happiness, all of that. But when I'm creating something that I believe in, I'm happy and fulfilled. Mm-hmm. Those come. Yeah. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
So the happiness and fulfillment are a benefactor of creation.
Creating.
I like it. I like it a lot because I know I've gone through phases in my life where I'm kind of more in the consumption phase, just listening, reading stuff, social media.
Yep. I'm
not creating. I'm not posting. I'm not creating my business. I'm not doing things. And I know that I'm not as happy in those times. So that's a great answer. I've not heard that. I've asked a few people this question, and you do get those answers, fulfillment, freedom, that stuff. And those are all valid, but I like your answer.
I throw you for a spin.
Yeah, thank you, brother. Well, I appreciate you being on here.
Pleasure.
Where can people find you? How can they get?
You can find me on Instagram. It's my primary platform. Joseph J. Michael with an underscore.
Okay.
Instagram, and yeah, that's where I'm active.
Cool. I'll definitely put all the links to you guys can go check him out. Go link up with him. Solid dude, obviously, if you couldn't tell already. And they have a really good company. So if you are a coach, consultant, course creator, and you're looking to do $20K a month, I don't know why you would want to do that, but
no idea.
If you guys are looking to do that without paid ads, this is definitely your guy. So appreciate you, brother. Thank you for being on, and maybe we'll see you again. Let us know down in the comments if you like this style. If you'd like to see Joey again, maybe we'll kind of brush some things up and make this a little bit cleaner.
Polish it up.
Yeah, but definitely had some fun, man. This is good style, and yeah, let us know if you guys have any questions down below, and go connect with them. Make sure and subscribe to the channel if you're new here, and share this with some friends if you think they can get some value out of it. But appreciate you guys being here, and we'll see you on the next one.
Tonight.